Well, it was just huge, it was such a huge part, and, I think he's one of the most important people that ever lived. That's what Chris tells me. Hugely charismatic, hugely contradictory, hugely complex, and of course, I wanted to work with Chris with a role like this, a big leading part.
I mean, so much. I think just how complicated she was, and there were so many colours and layers to sort of play with her. Clearly this film has this sort of enigmatic, mercurial central performance by Cillian, who's mesmerizing in it. And we were just these big personalities to sort of bring out different parts of this character,
Well, first of all, I think the first thing to say is when Chris calls you about anything, you're like, I'll approach anything you want me to look at. The best thing about Jean was that she has an unbelievable intelligence. She is unbelievably bold for her young age, and she managed to turn the head of one of the most intelligent minds in history. So there's obviously something pretty sparky about her. And then, of course, when you dive in a little bit deeper and hear about her struggles and her pain, it makes for a really interesting concoction of a character. So I just was very appreciative of the opportunity and did as much research as possible, and also knew that I was playing with some pretty incredible actors, so it wasn't that hard.
Well, he talked a lot about the script really riding on Oppenheimer, and the book is called American Prometheus, and he said, I'm calling the movie Oppenheimer because the movie's going to live and die with this performance. And so it was all about finding a cast that could be in support of that. I think Iron Man just walked in. So getting a supporting cast with people like this guy right here. Oh, no one. I like the powder blue.
Hi, handsome.
Gorgeous.
I mean, the story of J. Robert Oppenheimer and his involvement in the creation of the atomic bomb is one of the most, maybe the most dramatic story I've ever encountered. He literally changed our world forever, so it felt like something very much worthy of a large-scale cinematic treatment.
Well, he is. I mean, he is the most groundbreaking, exciting director. He has changed the face of cinema, and you're going to be in something rare. Like, you just know as you run to meet him. You hear he wants to meet you, and you're like, if you had a jetpack on, you would put it on. Like, it's so exciting to meet him, and he makes everything easy and comfortable, and he's very English in that way. It's like everything's quite casual and laid back, so you lose sight of the fact that you're making something so extraordinary because he makes it so peaceful and unchaotic on set.
It's always like that, it's always like that with Chris. There's never any green screen. He puts the actors into the environment, and so they can experience it as the characters would. So you get a much more honest, kind of instinctual response, I hope.
I had been dying to meet Cillian for a long while, and we had so many mutual friends. It was quite bizarre that we hadn't crossed over in all the years that we wanted to. Working with him was so easy. I think that's part of the joy that I got from working on this film, was I was allowed to be with these incredible legends, people that I had looked up to for my entire life career, and it's just so easy when you work with talented people like that. It's a joy to create with them.
It's a huge story of epic scale, and the big screen suits the IMAX cameras the format that we shot on. It's the most beautiful image, and it's an incredibly immersive experience on the big screen.
Quite possibly the most thrilling experience I've had in my career. He truly is a great for all the reasons that people say he is. He respects the profession. He respects the way of making movies, the crew, the cast. His attention to detail is unlike anything I've ever seen. And working on a set like that only makes you feel like you are a part of the standard that he sets. So yeah, I'm just very grateful that I got to do it in the capacity that I did.